Hello, and welcome to Week 4, Lesson A. The title of this lesson, Compare Rate of Change Sequences. And this is part 2 to the lesson I started with you last week. Our goal is to compare linear, quadratic, and exponential functions using the rate of change. So we've been studying rate of change, how fast a sequence is progressing, and these are going to be new words for us. We're going to learn today what linear, quadratic, and exponential means. My agenda, we are going to complete a warm-up. It's going to be a review today of the chart you filled out in your Google Classroom. We are going to continue the card sort activity where you are analyzing different cards and reporting on them on a Google Doc. And then I'm going to give you an ending question, an exit ticket. Here is your warm-up. During the last lesson, I had you fill out this Google Doc. It had sequence A, B, C, D, E, and F on the doc, and I asked you to describe the change in each sequence. So for A, the sequence added 2. B, subtract 1. C, add 3. D, subtract 2. E, subtract 3. And F, add 2. So your warm-up today, let's go over the same question we ended with on this activity. What do all the sequences have in common as far as their change? We are going to continue our lesson from the other day at this point. In a second, I want you to pause this Edpuzzle video, go to your Google Classroom, and on your Edpuzzle post, Lesson A, you will see a copy of Analyze the Change in the Sequences. In there, you're going to see this filled out, Sequence Set 1. And I want you to scroll down now today when you open this to Sequence Set 2. So right now, go ahead, pause this video and open this doc and have it open in another tab. And then I want you to come back to this video and listen to the instructions. Now that you have your document open, I want you to work on Sequence Set 2. This is sequence G and sequence H, I, J, K, and L. So I want you to analyze this time, okay? And I want you to tell me, how is the sequence changing? So you may need a piece of scrap paper. You might need to write down term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, and keep track of how many circles. And you want to find the difference between how many circles there are so that you can see the pattern. So term 1 starts with 2, and then term 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. Here we have 5, 6, 7, 8, whoops, I miscounted, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 circles, okay? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 circles. So what is the increase each time? Okay. Now go ahead, take a look at sequence H. Term 1 has none. There are no circles. Term 2 have 4. Term 3, how many are there? Keep counting. Write your answers on your scrap paper. And then I want you to tell me over here how the sequence is changing. Go ahead and pause the video now and fill in Sequence Set 2. Now that you are finished Sequence Set 2, I want you to go on to Sequence Set 3. In each of these patterns, I want you to describe how it is changing. Sequence M, N, O, P, Q, and R are the sequences you are analyzing. And this one is unique for sure. Can you tell me how the sequences are changing and by how much? So you may need a piece of scrap paper again. I want you to say term 1, term 2, term 3, 4, 5 on your scrap paper, count the circles, and then take a look at the numbers. What's the difference between each set? And then describe how they're changing. Finally, for each one of these activities, I want you to tell me what all these sequences have in common on this sheet. For your closure activity today, I have given you a copy of this chart. If you pause the Edpuzzle video now, this is posted with your Edpuzzle assignment if you would like to open it in another tab so that you can see it a little better. It's called Copy of Task 13 Recall Sequence Sets. So you can pause the video now and open this on another tab and then come back to the video and continue. So I want you to take a look at sequences set 1. What was the same about all of these types of sequences? And these come from the sorting cards that I have given you previously in the last two lessons, How is the change all the same? Take a look at sequence set 2. How is the change all the same? Take a look at sequence set 3. How is the change all the same? Sequence set 1 have consistent rates of change. They continually change by the same amount throughout the entire sequence. This is what we call a linear sequence. If we graph the sequence, it makes a straight line. Sequences in set 2 do not change by a consistent amount. Take a look at sequence I, for example. You have 2, then 4, then 8, then 16. This is doubling. This is what we call exponential growth. Finally, sequences in set 3 are up-down patterns. They go down and then up, or then up and then down. When you see a pattern such as this one, we call it quadratic. If we took and we graphed this information on a piece of graph paper, it would make the shape of a U or a smiley face or a sad face. Our exit ticket today, I would like you to look at sequence S and sequence T. Describe how sequence S and sequence T are the same in how they change. How is their change the same?